Apple just dropped the iPhone 17e. And before you rush to pre-order, there are 15 things you absolutely need to know. Some of them are surprisingly good. Others, pretty disappointing. Let's get straight into it. Starting with the biggest letdown. Everyone was hoping Apple would finally bring the dynamic island to the budget iPhone. And they didn't. That notch is still sitting right there. The iPhone 17e uses the exact same 6.1-inch display as the iPhone 16. No brightness upgrade, no dynamic island, no thinner bezels, and no 120 Hz. If display upgrades were at the top of your list, this one stings. But before you close this video, because number 2 might just change your mind completely, Apple bumped the minimum storage all the way up to 256 gigabytes. And here's the part that'll surprise you. They didn't raise the price. The iPhone 17e still starts at $599. For context, getting 256 gigabytes on the iPhone 16 cost you $699 at launch. That's a $100 saving right off the bat. And if you thought that was the only win Apple delivered this time around, wait until you hear number 3. MagSafe is finally on the budget iPhone. This was one of the most requested features for years, and Apple finally listened. That also means wireless charging just doubled in speed, from 7.5 watts on the iPhone 16e all the way up to 15 watts. It's not the 25-watt maximum you get on the iPhone 17 and 17 Pro, but it's a meaningful and long overdue upgrade. And because MagSafe is now part of the picture, number 4 actually makes a lot more sense. Both the official Apple and Beats cases now come with MagSafe alignment magnets built right in. This matters more than it sounds, because the iPhone 16 was literally the only iPhone where official cases shipped without magnets, forcing people to buy third-party options just for proper alignment. The silicone case has gone up slightly from $39 to $49, and there are some fresh color options across the lineup: bright guava, vanilla, and electric lavender. Now, speaking of what's changed on the outside, number 5 is a small detail, but it's worth knowing before you buy. The iPhone 17e and iPhone 16 look nearly identical and share the exact same dimensions, but the 17e is 2 grams heavier, most likely due to those MagSafe magnets inside. You'll never feel the difference in your hand, so don't let that put you off. What might bother you a little more, though, is what we didn't get, and that's number 6. Despite having a brand new, more efficient chip under the hood, Apple is quoting the exact same 26-hour battery life as the iPhone 16e. Most people were expecting something closer to the iPhone 17's 30-hour rating. With a more efficient processor doing the work, landing on the same number feels like a real missed opportunity. Now about that chip, because number 7 is where things get interesting. The iPhone 17e runs on the A19 chip, just as the leak suggested. But there's a small catch. It has 1 fewer GPU core than the A19 in the standard iPhone 17, and 2 fewer than the A19 Pro inside the Pro models. In real-world use, though, you're almost certainly never going to notice this, especially since the display is still a 60 Hz panel. The chip is more than powerful enough for smooth gaming and all current AAA mobile titles. And just like the rest of the A19 family, those GPU cores now include built-in neural accelerators for improved AI performance. As a fun reference point, the CPU performance here is twice as fast as an iPhone 11, a phone that a huge number of people are actually still using today. But the chip story doesn't stop there, because number 8 is something Apple quietly slipped in. The iPhone 17e gets the C1X modem, the same one found in the iPhone Air, which is an upgrade over last year's C1, offering better power efficiency and reportedly twice the speed. That said, there's no N1 chip here like in the rest of the iPhone 17 lineup, which means you're still on Wi-Fi 6, not even Wi-Fi 6E. For a $599 phone launching in 2025, that's a noticeable omission. Now shifting to the camera, because number 9 brings a small but genuinely useful upgrade. Portrait mode now lets you adjust the focus point after you've already taken the shot. Apple is calling this next generation portrait, aligning it with the iPhone 17 naming, which should mean improved results overall. It's not a headline feature, but it's a solid quality of life addition. However, if you were hoping for a full camera overhaul, number 10 is going to bring you back to earth. The front and rear cameras are the same hardware as the iPhone 16. No center stage camera, the clever feature on the iPhone 17 series that lets you switch between portrait and landscape without rotating the phone. The sensor is also the smallest in the entire iPhone 17 lineup, smaller than both the standard 17 and the Pro models, despite sharing the same 48 megapixel resolution. Low light performance will reflect that smaller sensor. It's not a deal breaker at this price, but it is something to keep in mind. On a much lighter note though, number 11 is a small touch that a lot of people are actually going to appreciate. There's now a third color option. Soft pink joins black and white. It's a subtle addition, but after years of the budget iPhone being limited to just 2 colorways, it's a welcome change. And while we're talking about the physical side of the phone, number 12 is one of the most underrated upgrades on this entire device. The iPhone 17e ships with the second generation ceramic shield, and this is a genuinely significant durability upgrade. Independent testing shows it only begins to scratch at a hardness level of 7, with deeper grooves at level 8. The fact that Apple didn't cut corners here and put the cheaper first-gen ceramic shield on their most affordable iPhone is a real positive. And honestly, one of the best reasons to consider this phone. Now that you know what's inside, let's talk about when you can actually get it. And more importantly, whether you should. Pre-orders open March 4th, with units expected to ship from March 11th. At $599 with 256 gigabytes of storage, MagSafe, Ceramic Shield 2, and the A19 chip, it's not a bad deal on paper. But it's hard to ignore what else that money can get you. A refurbished iPhone 15 Pro or iPhone 16 can often be found at or around this price, though those do start at just 128 gigabytes. The Google Pixel 10a at 256 gigabytes actually matches the $599 price tag and brings an ultra-wide camera, a larger battery, and a 120Hz display that's noticeably brighter. The Samsung Galaxy S25 FE comes in $50 cheaper and packs a better main camera, a telephoto lens, an ultra-wide, and a brighter 120Hz always-on display on top of that. The iPhone 17e is a solid pick if you're in the Apple ecosystem and want the latest software support at an accessible price. But if you're open to alternatives, the competition offers a lot more for the same money. No dynamic island, no larger battery, no Wi-Fi 6E. Those are the 3 things that hold this phone back from being a clear, no hesitation recommendation. So, would you go for the iPhone 17e at $599? Or would you look at a refurbished option, the Pixel 10a, or something fresh like the Nothing Phone 4a? Drop your answer in the comments below. If you found this useful, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss the full, hands-on review when it drops. See you in the next one.